Welcome to the Witchy Work Wishes podcast, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. Welcome to Witchy Work Wishes. I am your host, Charlene, and today you are joining me for a very special and personal podcast recording that I did with both of my boys and one of their friends. So normally I do like to start with some things I did over the weekend to help with my own personal craft, but I'm going to jump right in it today because I was with them all weekend and you're going to hear exactly what we were talking about and what we were doing. So this is really unscripted. It is very organic and personal, lots of giggles. Hopefully you can keep track of everybody. You do have my older son, Taylor, my younger son, Connor, and their friend, who they call Truett, all of us together chit-chatting about witchy things, dreams, and doing some fun card pulls. So sit back, relax, and hopefully you enjoy this very different format of just kind of an open mic, free flow recording, and I'm going to jump right into it with them. Okay, we are back, and I am so excited to have three young men with me today. You guys have heard from my older son, Taylor, but today I have the honor of my younger son, Connor, and a good family friend, Truett, with us to help walk through some perspectives on witchcraft and the witchy world from their point of view. So welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Well, hello. Good to be here.
All right, Connor, let's start with you. So I had the privilege of talking with your older brother about witchcraft and how he felt about me being a little witchy with my mom's stuff. How do you feel? Or how did you feel when I said it to you?
I remember when you were talking to me on the phone.
Yep.
And you were going to be telling me about it, and you sounded a little nervous.
I chickened out.
And I was like, oh, this is, like, I wonder what's going on. Like, and when you told me about it, I was so excited because I was like, oh my gosh, this is right up your alley. Like, it's all about nature, it's about the environment, it's about, you know, the moon and everything. I thought it was amazing. I thought, like, this is amazing, and I'm so happy that you have gone into this and embraced it, and I think it's amazing.
No, I love it. I certainly get nervous, like, bringing anybody into this world, but the fact that you and Taylor were so accepting and so just understanding with the whole process, it just made me feel so welcomed and loved. All right, Truett, you're new to the family.
Yes.
Yeah. Family is a strong word.
Okay. It is. Well, he was.
Oh my God.
He was called my son just not even a half hour ago, so I think he's part of the family, right?
Now you're in.
Now you're in.
For life now.
A stranger called you family. Now you're in.
Big bro now.
Can't get rid of me.
Well, how are you a part of the family? Certainly through football and knowing Taylor in college.
I met Taylor last summer. I was almost going on a year and a half, I'd say, right?
Yeah, he was one of the first people I met when I got out there because there was hardly anybody that worked out in the school gym doing the summer program. Yeah. And he was one of the only other people that I saw.
That's awesome.
I'd say we kind of immediately clicked, and then I heard about you and all the stuff you do with, like, the foster work.
Oh, I love my foster kittens.
Yeah. Then I met Connor, and yeah, you're all great people.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm very
so you guys play Xbox Online. That's how you connect.
Yes, that is our main source because
we got multiple states here that we're crossing.
Yeah, Truett and I obviously we're in the same state, but he's from different states. So the main way we connect is through playing games that we all like.
What is your game?
Well, that depends on the night.
That's
Some
fair.
nights
That's fair.
We play a zombie game. Some nights we're doing Star Wars, where Taylor and I are arguably leading the team. We're carrying us to victory. We're not naming any names here.
But Truett.
But someone...
Put me on Boba Fett. I bust it down.
That's
do
not
you?
your character.
But do you though?
Yeah,
characters are
okay.
That is already taken.
That's Ryan's character.
You can be Bosk.
You need a
You can be Bosk. He's a lizard guy.
Who asked?
Okay, there we go.
You
Yeah.
guys.
You two can slug that one out.
Wait, what does Ryan do? He's
Boba Fett.
He's Boba
Ryan
Fett.
doesn't know how to use a lightsaber in that game. Ryan struggles. He has his struggles, but he's still part of the group.
Okay.
It was actually a struggle because we had I was on a different system than they were, so we could only play one game for like 4 months. Then I finally made a switch.
Are you a PlayStation guy?
That's what it was.
He was.
And
It's like beers and cocktail with that.
Yeah.
So I only got to hear from Connor every like Friday night. So.
Aww.
Yeah, when we play Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now that he's got an Xbox, we can play the Zombie, Star
Thank
Wars,
goodness.
Destiny 2.
We don't even have to play together, but we still talk. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
It'd be these two versus Ryan and I.
This is how it is.
That game that gets heated.
We give them a
It
run
does.
for their money.
That gets heated.
We slap
Undefeated still.
them. No, it's
Actually,
debatable.
Neither.
Debatable.
So someone uses a crossbow.
Not naming
always
names.
against me.
Huh.
I swear.
It's got to be Ryan then.
Not naming names.
Yeah.
Is that
Ryan is not here, just so the audience knows, so he cannot defend himself. So, Ryan, we have you in our hearts, and at some point you will be able to join us.
is a crossbow a good move? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it kind of a little overpowered? I think it should be
It could
nerfed
be.
a little
It's
bit.
like picking
could
Michael
be.
Jordan every time on your team.
Yeah, exactly.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's hard. All right, so what about, have any of you guys ever dated somebody with some witchy vibes? And that's a very, very general term. What's your initial thought?
I have.
You have?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was.
Truett, what do you got?
The girl I was actually telling you about earlier tonight.
Yes.
She was very heavy into like, it's not the same area, but she was heavily into astrology. Astrology science. She would say I turned her personality from like a bull to a rat, which I didn't know a lot of what that meant. And she was very heavy into like how the stars and the moon affect your energy and how you're feeling.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Right. Do you tend to believe in that stuff, or like,
I would say.
Do you know much about it?
I know pretty surface level, and it's not that I don't believe in it, because I can't, like, it's strangely accurate in some areas, and it kind of matches up a little too well. So, like, I would say I'm on that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when I've heard stuff, certainly in the past and even now, it can be oddly generic, which makes, I think, people be like, come on. And then there's other times where if you really start getting into it and you know what your sign is, you know your sun sign, your moon sign. So what is your birth date?
June 26th, so I'm a Cancer. Are you?
Yeah, baby. I'm a Cancer.
Ah.
Oh, I got you. I got you down. So you're sitting next to a Scorpio and
worst one.
a Libra.
That's one of the best ones.
Is it though? They're all good.
Opinion is relative.
They're all good. All the signs are good. And all the signs are needed. It's a balance between everything, and every different sign brings a different energy and quality. Yeah. And we all have aspects of each sign. So if you get into the more specifics of it, that's your sun sign, right? So there's a moon sign also based off of the date you were born, and a rising sign. There's also way more, but those are the only ones that I know.
I've had people. I've had someone. She tried to explain to me. I didn't understand it.
Is this a girlfriend or just a person?
Not a girlfriend, but somebody I was close with. I don't understand. Like, why do you need a sun and a moon sign, or what's the difference between them?
Sure. So, and astrology is not my strong point, but I can give you like a glossary of it. So your sun sign is where the sun was in relation to everything on the day you were born, and the time you were born, and the location you were born. So at that very same point in time, the moon was in a certain place. And so those two things, your sun sign, which is when everybody says what their sign is, they're more than likely talking about their sun sign. But your moon sign is also where the moon was on that very same point in time when you were born. And the moon sign is going to be more your emotions, right? The moon is more tied to the water, which is your sign and your sign. Yours is an air sign.
I'm an air?
You're an air sign. Yeah.
Airbender.
Airbender.
Which one?
You're a water sign. He's a water sign too.
Wait, is it water, air, and earth?
And
Fire.
fire. Yeah. So 4 elements.
It's me and you.
So you guys are both what? You're not really.
He didn't shake my head.
Did you see that?
He didn't shake my head.
Unbelievable.
For the
Taylor.
record, I may or may not have shook his hand.
I'm sitting over here with air.
You are. Your father's an air sign, just if that matters to you. Yeah.
That's an air sign too?
He's a Gemini and he's an air sign.
Interesting.
So Taylor and I are both water signs, and you and your father are both air signs.
Who's fire? Like what signs and which categories would classify as fire?
Ryan's fire.
What was his birthday?
I have no idea.
Ryan's
I have
probably
no
fire.
information for that claim. I'm just taking.
But what's his birthday?
May 13th.
No, he's he. Actually, I don't know all the signs.
He might be an air.
No, so May 13th, he's probably a Taurus, like Grammy. Fire is going to be Sagittarius, Aries, and I feel like Taurus is Earth.
Sounds Earth.
I think Ryan's might be sounds Earth. It does, doesn't it? Just so I don't know. This is not my area of
When
expertise.
you say that, there's a Pokemon named Taurus who's a Earth type.
Yes.
So
Yep,
Oh, see?
this is knowledge I bring here.
Good pull. Good pull.
Okay, so Truett, you dated somebody who was maybe a little bit into this stuff. Not necessarily a witch, but into maybe some crystals and some.
Yeah, definitely crystals. I don't think she'd classify as a witch, but she definitely believed in that and like would read. What's it called every morning? Like your
horoscope.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, that's another thing is I would say I don't believe in those, but there was one time where one of my managers was talking a lot of smack about it and that it was not true, and then someone pulled up his horoscope for the day and it basically said
Literally what?
he's like going to be very abrasive in his opinions and that like he's going to go against what everyone else was thinking because like everyone was saying that it was real except him.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting.
That is interesting. You know, I think a lot of people tie stuff like crystals, or if you're into the elements, or you're into certain things, that it's witchcraft, and it really isn't. Those are all very separate things. Collectively, you can put them together and do some workings with them.
Can I say he dropped his rock just then?
That didn't happen.
Did he drop the moon
He
rock?
just dropped
No, it
it.
landed on my foot and I caught it.
Just your stone is the moonstone
That's a catch. You don't have stone.
because you are a Cancer. So Cancers are highly tied to the moon.
Better than you.
That's a moonstone.
You don't have moonstone.
AKA better than
You don't have. I am holding a stone. You are not holding.
Okay,
There's the sky.
just so everybody who is listening understands.
That's a good pull. I like that.
I
We're
did
not
bring-
holding a stone. It's right there up
But
in the
you're
sky.
not.
It's up there, brother.
And we are recording this on a new moon.
Yes.
So this is a powerful stage about new beginnings. We're setting new tones, all that good stuff. And I did give Taylor and Connor a moonstone. So I also gave them something else I was working on. And you want to shake it up? Where's yours? Do you have yours? Oh, you got it in your hand. Oh, look at. Oh my God, Connor. Okay, so Connor used to do this when you were little. Do you remember doing it?
I do. At Grammy's house. I do remember it. I would stack them.
He would go out and find all the. Okay, so you guys can't see, so sorry. So Connor literally just put the moonstone on his shoulder, tilted his head, and was holding the rock just perfectly on his shoulder. So he used to do that all the time when he was little, and go find rocks that you just found important. They meant something. You would find a rock, and that rock meant something to you.
I've always liked rocks.
You've always liked
I
rocks.
like rocks.
Big rock.
Yeah, crystallized rocks, anything that
Yep.
had a cool coloring. I put them on my shoulder. I remember at Grammy's house, the one I really remember, I would try to stack them where I'd be like, oh, this one's a good one.
He would literally come up to us. We'd be out on the porch. Yeah.
Like 5 or 6. Be
He'd be like, "Oh, this is it. This is like this is the one," and he would come in and showcase it. And it was no, you.
If it could balance here and I could balance it, I'm like, okay, that's a good weight.
This is it.
It's
Yeah.
a good weight. It's got a good distribution. Like,
It's got a good
if
one.
it couldn't balance, I was like, nah, it's not good.
Okay, grab your roller balls because I got something, or I did something special for both these guys. And Truett, I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
If I'd known we were going to record with you, I would have made you what I promised. But Taylor can share with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
We're both waters. We're the same.
Yeah,
You are.
It's water.
What?
Waters?
What I said, waters. You said-
Waters is fine. It's
I'm
multiple. It's plural. It's okay.
Where that water?
All right, shake it up.
From Gary, Indiana.
Okay, so shake your roller balls and open it up and tell me what you smell.
First smell is nutmeg.
Ooh, okay.
That's just not.
You just pulled that out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's not pulling out.
That is-
How many times did we make the homemade apple pie?
That is
You know I know
Connor's
nutmeg.
signature is apple pie.
You know I know
Cinnamon.
the smell of nutmeg.
Nuts
It's cinnamon
and
and nutmeg. Those two
And clove.
blended
There's clove in
together.
there too. They do.
There's
It's-
nutmeg in
that's
it.
You're
like-
smelling Christmas,
That's
right?
like
Or
him
just
blind taste testing like a chicken tender. Be like, oh, this is like perfectly roasted chicken with
No,
garnish.
nutmeg is a signature hinting spice.
Oh, I like your socks.
Like, no, dude, that's salmon.
No,
That's a nice cooked
Well,
brisket.
let's see.
I know.
Is there nutmeg in there?
There is not.
Oh, okay.
I know.
But
Pull-
I'm going to tell you why you're feeling that way because
Left
there's
field.
cinnamon and clove.
Oh, that's probably it.
It's that combination.
why.
It was your typical apple pie stuff. It's your So do you smell it?
Yeah,
I
that's
smell cinnamon.
Do you smell
Yeah,
cinnamon?
that's what he's picking up.
Okay, Trey, see if you can hold it up to the light. Can you see anything in your roller balls? Because I made something very special with it.
Well,
You just shook it, so So there is essential oil and water. So you're going to have to, and those don't mix. So you have to shake it up to.
foreign object at the bottom of the
There's 3 cloves,
cylinder.
and see if you see anything else special in there.
I know because she already showed me.
Okay.
Hold it up to the light. Can you see it?
They're having a lot of
They're
trouble
looking.
here.
I know. No, that's okay. It's hard to see because it's clear.
I do know what I'm looking for.
Connor
I
does.
don't see it.
It's in there. Well, did you guys pick these out? How did you pick them out?
Well, probably.
Because there was 2. You just
hand them to us?
did I? I just set them down on the table. So okay, it was meant to be. However, it was.
Kitty claw in there somewhere.
There it is. Can I point out that Truett is not drinking?
Yeah,
I tried. It is.
Are you done? You can be done. It's okay. to
No,
be done.
I like the alcohol. It's
not
just
okay.
it doesn't like me.
It's just too full. Yeah.
I can chug it.
No, you don't. Please don't. Please don't. No. We want you.
Go ahead. Get it over with.
I'll take
No,
a
we
sip.
no. You
I'll
do
do
not
sip.
have to drink at all. Jeez.
Hey, I'm
No. Connor
I'm-
can have it because Connor does not have to play football tomorrow.
I'm the type to give in to peer pressure.
No,
Yes,
that's
good.
not.
Take a
No,
big-
you guys. No.
Take a big chunk.
Okay, so do you see a cast claw?
I can't see it.
It floated down from the top.
It's in there.
in front of your.
I know it's.
If you hold it up to the light, you'll see it.
Do you not see?
Get out of here.
That's right. Tino's gonna go to the light. You can see yours, right, Connor?
I know where I'm looking.
Sweetie,
You know.
can you grab me a water while you're up?
Hey, honey, did you find
Sweetie.
the cast claw?
Get away from me.
Love bug.
He's literally in the lamp.
He's in.
I have to be. No, don't shake it anymore.
It needs
Just
to
let
be
it
shaken.
settle.
Yeah, let it settle. You
I need
just
to let it settle.
let it settle. Okay,
You're
so
just telling me to shake it more. True.
wait, I have something for Truett. I do. Hold on, I just realized
It's
what I could
$5
do.
million.
I wish I
greatest
had $5
present
million
of all.
to hand
I
out.
thought you were about to grab the trash can.
Good, get in.
What does he get? What does he get?
Wait, what does Drew get in?
I don't know.
Moon rock.
That's my moon rock.
That is not. That's not acceptable.
That is acceptable.
Mom!
This is your moon rock.
That's
You're
my
gonna make
moon
my
rock.
mother fly back without a moon rock.
I will make your mother fly back without a moon rock, so it can be my moon rock.
You're
Moon
just
rock's
that-
not my moon rock.
No, wait. It's our moon rock.
It is. That's right.
Wait, I see it.
You see it?
I found it.
See? And
It's
it
literally-
needed.
it's right there.
Where? You see it?
The kitty.
Okay, so you have a kitty claw. So think about you guys. I know you haven't listened to
That
the.
looks like a Ragnar kitty claw.
It could be right.
I have cookie.
You know
could have.
why?
I bet-
Because it's sharp, and I've been mauled.
and
by
he's
it.
young.
Yeah.
He's got the sharp.
See it?
I've been seeing it.
You have.
I saw it long before you saw it.
You have.
I watched your.
I
watched your eyeball track it.
feel
I
like
bet you guys.
I
This
feel
was
like
on
this
purpose.
Is Cookie's claw.
I bet you it is.
This is Cookie's claw.
That
This
cat
one- this one's-
found you,
yeah.
just like Wiggles found him. Like
Mr. Kitty.
those cats found, and you have a cat that found you too, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oddly enough, not Ryan. Ryan the cat.
Ryan the
Tuxedo
cat.
kitty.
Yeah.
The
Better.
big tuxedo kitty.
Better than human Ryan, arguably.
Ryan, where are you? Okay, so the cat's claw. Think about a cat protecting itself, right? Claws are out. So that is a protective element. Cinnamon is a protective element. So this is a roller ball that I would use as a sigil. Use it to draw a sigil on yourself. So if you shake it up, that cinnamon smell, draw whatever protective element you could do. Like I love drawing hearts on myself. I feel like that's protective. If you actually have something for the Norse, Taylor, I don't know if you actually have a sigil.
Okay.
Yep. It could be anything that you need. Initials. We were talking about your grandmother. You could use initials for that. All right. What's your take on the Norse stuff? You like the?
I do like it.
I know, and you like the tree of life.
The
Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil tree,
Yeah.
if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say Yggdrasil, but yeah. What did you say?
Yggdrasil?
Isidro? It's where you put the emphasis on.
I think I
No.
know that from God of War, the video game.
Yeah, because Freya's in there pretty frequently.
Yeah.
So if there was a deity that I follow, it would be Freya.
Really?
Absolutely.
So
Because
I.
she's
all-
all
she's all
about
about
she's
that.
all about cats.
So I do know her story.
You do?
Because of that game. Yeah.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
So that is your. So if you have a connection with cats, ladybugs are a big sign with her. Her day is Friday.
We had a ladybug in the house the other day.
Oh my god.
That would
We
be a
found
Freya
one.
sign.
It was on the ceiling, actually. So I
So-
did, but I didn't
was-
mention it to you.
I thought
You
it was.
pointed it out, but I,
Yeah.
You saw it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Freya
It was
sign.
just on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, what, like a week ago? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Last week.
All right. All right, so what can we talk about with witchcraft? Is there anything that freaks you guys out about it? Nothing.
So, do you have something to say, Connor?
Not freaks out. I had a question on the construction.
Yes.
Of like something like this.
Yes.
Where it would be a protection.
Mm-hmm.
Would this be classified as a rune because we are drawing it onto ourselves in that symbolized shape?
No.
But it would be like what, like the combination of these. So you're saying like cinnamon, very protective.
Very protective.
Cloves, very protective.
Very protective.
Question: lavender.
Lavender is not protective.
Dang it, lavender was so good.
But what is in here is rosemary. Rosemary is very protective. So lavender is going to talk about more of. So I use that with your.
That's what I was thinking. As
Yes,
kids.
your pillow sprays. We had lavender.
Anti-monster spray.
It was the No More Monsters. Yep.
Literally.
It literally said No More Monsters. Yeah. So lavender is about calming, more tranquil type stuff, where you're talking about more, not fighting stuff, but more aggressive things here. You're talking about things that are going to actively protect you.
Love it.
So the other thing that was added in here is I used the Blue Moon Super Moon Water. And that is, so basically what that's going to do is going to take the blue moon, which means there's 2 moons in 1 month, and it's going to take the super moon element, which means the moon is physically closer to the earth. Anytime you take that full moon energy and you have it with a blue moon and you have it with a super moon, it's going to be amplified. So full moons are all about like, it's the moon is at its fullest. The energy is at its fullest, right? But energy is usually at its peak. It's at its fullest. So I took all that energy, and when you have a super moon and a blue moon, it's doubled. So I took that full moon energy and created some very protective stuff with you. And it's not just like putting the stuff together, it's what you say to put it together. And that I don't put on the podcast because I don't want anybody to undo it. Gotcha. So I say some like general stuff of what I did, but not necessarily the words I used to create it, so nobody can undo it.
Because words do have meaning, and they have some power.
It's your intentions. Yeah.
That's too big for a baby claw, right?
That is not a baby claw.
Cool,
but they're all big kitties. But Ragnar's not a baby. He's a big cat now.
Big kitty. That cat's
He's a big cat.
He's a little over 1?
Yeah, he's 1.5. Yeah.
Was he in May?
He was March. He's an Aries.
He's in March. Like he looks like he has fluff to him, and then like when you pet him, it's like no, that's mass.
We got some mass in there. We do. We do.
That man's got some.
I know.
He's got some weight to him.
That's how my cat Ryan was.
Your cat Ryan was huge.
Those are great pictures you shared of him tonight.
Yeah.
You called him Big Mac?
No, I said he's a big man.
Oh, big
and
man,
he's one of those cats that loves to sit like a human, where he's on his butt with his paws in between his legs. I love that.
Yes.
And then his belly is just hanging out.
Oh my gosh.
He just flops. Like when he's just relaxing or like on the wood floor, like
he just like spreads out.
It just spreads out.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing.
It is funny.
I actually had a question.
Yeah.
So I remember forever ago, I saw this like TikTok of a guy telling a story with his ex-girlfriend, and I believe she like was a witch, or she was like just something along the lines, and I can't remember if it was like a full moon, but there was something happening where there was bad energy, and she did like some ritual to protect his mirrors to keep some. I can't remember fully what it is, but I don't know if you could like, if you know what I'm talking about.
So I can tell you a little bit. I had a full episode on mirror magic, and mirrors are known to be kind of portals to other realms. Mm-hmm. So every time you go to sleep, your conscious is going to sleep, right? Mm-hmm. You're in your subconscious. Okay. So the debate could potentially be is like, well, when you're dreaming, are you just dreaming, or is your
actually awake?
Subconscious going somewhere else?
Okay.
Right.
Have you heard of shifting?
Yes, I have.
Okay, because that's something I would say I don't fully believe in it, but I've heard a lot about it because it kind of blew up recently. Things
get more popular. They have trends, right? Yeah. So, but for the mirrors, they're pretty much known portals for spirits coming in and spirits coming out. Whatever you want to call those spirits. If there are your ancestors that have passed that are coming back to try to find you. If I think Dana probably is trying to reach out to you guys at some point. I'm sure. But there are people that are not on our realm anymore, but they're on a different realm.
Gotcha.
And mirrors are a very known gateway for that.
Okay.
There's a lot of things you can either do to accept that as a portal, or if you don't like it, if you think it's maybe some evil things coming through or some bad things coming through, there's things you can do to kind of shut down that portal. But if you are open to it and you don't mind things coming in, mirror placement's a big one, you know, where it is in your room.
I do remember that being a thing, like that she had it set up a specific way in his room.
Yeah.
I think that sounds pretty cool, so I want that.
You want that?
Yeah.
I think it just, you know, certainly when you go to sleep, your body is done, right? Your body is in a sleep state, but your brain never shuts off. So where do you go when your physical body is asleep? You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's have you ever had a dream more than once?
Absolutely. Like
Same.
That I think everyone has that one dream they've had from a kid and
right?
they still have. Yeah.
What's yours?
Mine, all right, I can remember it like...
And this is from little kid or just...
From little kid. I can remember like very specific details, but the broad thing, it would be so hard to explain. I'm a kid in the dream. I'm probably like 10-ish. And it's always at my elementary school, and it's always like just a normal day. And it's always like the same weather, same like circumstance, but then just there's always like one detail that's like slightly different, like whether it's the classic like I don't wear clothes, or like sometimes like a plane will crash. Like it's the same scenario in that same school, but there's just like one factor changed of like what's happening.
And you keep repeating it.
Not every night, but I get.
Yeah, but you've had it more than
once. Multiple times, yeah.
Can you control what's happening? Like, when you go into it again, you're like, shoot, I know what's about to happen, but I can't stop it from happening?
I've only ever had one lucid dream, and that's because I tried to, like I did like the counting your fingers, like the seeing if you're awake check.
Yeah.
But so like sometimes in the dream, I'll recognize that things are strange and that like this is not like a normal thing that's happening, but I won't become like I don't know what's called like conscious.
Yeah.
It's like be able to control it. Mm-hmm. So I've only ever had one lucid dream.
Have you ever had a dream, been woken up, which is usually why you remember your dreams, something wakes you up, and then be able to go back into the dream?
Yeah.
I have too.
Yeah, I don't
you
know
have too? Yeah.
I don't know if this plays into it at all. I when I was younger, I was a big sleepwalker, sleep talker. I frequently, even still to this day, sleep talk, and I will like, if someone tries to wake me up, I will sit up, open my eyes and look at them and talk to them, but I'm still asleep. And it drives my mom crazy, but and I had no memory of it because I was still like asleep.
You were still, yeah.
Yeah, and then I've had those instances where I fully woke up and then went back into the same dream.
Purposely? Like you said, oh my gosh, that's such a good dream, I want to go back to it?
Yeah.
I've done it that way.
I have too. Good, what
but
is
that,
yours?
I don't feel like it, I don't feel like it's quite the same. Like I don't take any of the events that happen after I've woken up and I know I'm going back into it as concrete as they were before. Because I know what I'm going into, and I'm picking up on it, and I think that has more influence on the events that would happen after, rather than if I was just aware that the dream was happening.
So you're in a dream, something actually wakes you up,
right?
And then you consciously, I am too.
Yeah.
And then you consciously go back into your dream.
Right. So if
you choose to go back, you're saying I want to go back in there.
Yeah. If I wake up and I know it's the middle of the night, and I will recount what I remember so far, just start from the earliest point of which I remember to retrace that to try to get the most realistic outcome of what was going to happen rather than trying to alter what was already happening.
Well, that's very controlling.
Because
that's interesting. Interesting.
In my opinion, I think if I try to change or alter of what's already currently happening, then I'm trying to control what the outcome would be. But if I just recount what's already happened and just try to pick it up from there and not try to overthink of what the outcome would be, or maybe let me just change this one setting, or let me change a person who was there with me.
Right.
Then it wouldn't alter it as much. If I try to make those changes, then it would.
And you're accepting of walk me down the path I'm supposed to be, what message I'm supposed to be getting.
Let it happen.
Interesting. What about you, Connor?
For dreams that I've woken up and then gone back into.
Have you chosen to go back into them?
Well, yeah, I think like I kind of want to go back to see how that dream plays out.
Right.
Yeah. And most of the time, I usually end up dreaming about something new.
You do.
Or something a little bit different.
It's altered.
But sometimes I get to go back into the same one. But then kind of like Taylor was saying, where I'm more conscious of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm back in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
I know where I'm at, but it's not the same because I know that I'm.
You're back in there.
I know I'm back in there. But it's most of the time I end up dreaming about something new or something
it gets
slightly
altered.
different. Yeah, same theme but different setting, different people or something like that. But in the instances where I do get to go back into that dream, it's usually like, oh, I remember, like I'm back in the dream, but then it doesn't actually turn out the same because I'm conscious of the surroundings.
Okay, with that same breath, have you had a dream where you are visiting a place, but it's not a place you've ever visited to or been to on this, me too, on this like realm? Like, you're going back, you're having a dream about this place and you're like, oh, I've been here before. It's not a place you've been to in this lifetime, but it's a place you're like, oh, I remember this place. I know I've been here before. It's not the exact same dream. It's not a duplicate, but you're back in the same place again.
Would that be like a glimpse into a former life? Yeah.
When you go to that place and you have that feeling, it's like I've been here before, it's the most uncomfortable feeling ever.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. You're like, I know.
So you've had it too.
I've recognized it. That
you're there.
It's from a dream. It's like the only reason I recognize this because it's something I've dreamed about before. Yeah. And it just
it's uncomfortable.
hits you different. It's a really weird and odd feeling.
Yeah. And you've had it, Truett?
Yeah, I've had like one I can remember specifically is it's a small area where it's one of those places where like I'm in a city and I'm going kind of towards an alley and then downstairs that lead to like a kind of underground like club thing, and I've had that like area in a dream a few times, like repeated, and I recognize it. Like it feels like in the dream I'm like, oh,
like you in the dream you're like, oh, this is my place, I know it. And what do you guys say from that when you wake up and you have that feeling?
That whatever former life was a lot cooler than I am now. That,
you were way cooler.
Yeah, I was way cooler in my past life.
So do you think would you consider yourself an old soul or a new soul?
Definitely in my music
like in
taste.
those, yeah.
In my music taste, that's definitely where I think that shines the most, because I listen to just a lot of old, like opera music sometimes and stuff like that. So I would say
old. General. Yeah.
I've been told by many people that I'm an old soul. By the way,
you're also 25. Or is that?
No, that's okay. In your eyes, that's old. I know, but it's not in mine.
But by the way that I interact with people, and how I carry myself.
Yeah.
I've been told in the past. I'm a young soul, but in the present now, I've been told I'm an old soul. So I don't know. I think it can kind
You're
of
walking
vary.
a couple lines, maybe.
Yeah, it can kind of vary on where I am in my path.
Right.
Going back to thinking if you recognize you're in a place that you haven't been before, I haven't ever gotten the feeling that it's because I've been there in a past life. I think it's my subconscious creating possible scenarios of the future.
What do you mean by that?
Means it's something that could happen.
I've had that a lot where like...
So it's a deja vu moment.
You're working through hypotheticals? Or deja vu?
That's what...
Yeah, like...
That's the feeling that I recognize more. It's not, oh, I've been here in the past. It's, oh, I've dreamt of this, had this scenario, and now it's actually happening.
I've had that a lot where like something will happen.
That's the feeling.
Like, I dreamed this.
That's the feeling that I get. It's not...
That's a different gift.
Yeah, it's really eerie. Because you get the feeling, I could not tell you the next 30 seconds, but I know I've had a very similar dream to that little 10-second segment, and I can recognize it when it happens.
Same.
And it almost.
Do you feel it coming? Like, oh, it's about to happen? Like it's happening?
No, only in the middle of it's happening.
Like it's
so like if we.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's not of. I recognize that dream from the first event of that segment. It's usually in the middle.
I was gonna say, for me, it's like I will be in the middle of saying a word, and then that like freeze frame of just my surroundings
all of a sudden
what I'm doing, I'm like, whoa.
And like
I saw this happening.
It'll freeze you. You're just. That was weird.
Okay, so that's potentially very powerful. So how do you handle that? I mean, that's a glimpse into the future.
I'll just recognize
what a
it,
gift.
and then I just keep moving on. Because I've tried thinking about it of like, well, I can't come up with a reason.
Yeah, it's
like any further explanation for it.
Does there have
It's
to be
just a
though?
weird film. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't.
There doesn't have
I
to
don't
be. It was just
overthink
what
it.
an amazing gift.
I recognize it, accept it for what it is, and then just keep going about what I'm doing.
I'd say it makes me funnier because a lot of it has been like future jokes that I'll tell. I'll be in the middle of a joke and I'll recognize the snare I'm in. So.
You're like, oh, I saw this happening.
Yeah.
And I killed it.
That one, that one really got the room up. So I'm gonna use that.
That's awesome. So, do any of those premonitions scare you guys? Do they make you feel more powerful? Do they frighten you?
Yeah, like it's not. I'm not scared that those things are happening. It's a very specific recognition of what's happening when I feel it. I don't feel fear. I don't feel empowered when it's happening. I just recognize it's like that was,
That's something.
I've seen this before.
I was gonna say we have to acknowledge.
But
The fact that acknowledging it is going to help you master it later on.
each time I recognize it, though, I know it. I haven't actually experienced it. Each time I recognize it, I know it's from a dream.
You do.
Every time.
I want to acknowledge that Connor almost fell out of his chair.
Are we going to acknowledge that? Because
myself.
we
It was
pretty
a-
much
it
just
was-
brushed that off.
It was a good save.
It was,
It was a good
saved
save.
it.
Like you, Connor,
And
you did.
I-
You almost crashed.
I tried to keep the noise down because Taylor was.
He was
saying
in the
an
middle.
incredible story,
I know.
And like, I was
I
like,
paused for a half second.
Yeah.
Because
Because you wanted to see if he was going to crash.
everyone looked at it.
Let's say that's good
Yeah.
core.
Thank you.
Your core brought you back up, and you recovered.
Thank you.
All right. What about you? Do you feel like empowered when you wake up and you're like, okay, I've been there before, I know, or do you feel uncomfortable? Like, oh my gosh, clearly I went somewhere and I'm back now. Are you uncomfortable with that, or?
In a place where I have a dream where I'm somewhere that I haven't been, usually my dreams are someplace in the past, and I'm reminiscing on something that is like doesn't really sit right with me on something that I did in the past.
It's what the unconscious. So what the unconscious is about. Like it's resolving that. It's putting
Yeah.
putting sense into something that doesn't make sense yet.
But lately, most of my dreams, I actually have a recurring dream that keeps going on, and I've talked about it with someone to like be like, hey,
What is this?
Keep
What are we
popping up,
doing?
Like,
Yeah.
what do you think the meaning is? It's always the same. I'm close to the shore, but it seems like I'm actually really far out into the ocean. There's no other fish around me, and there's one big great white shark kind of circling me. And it sees me, I see it.
I sees it.
I sees it.
I sees it.
I see it, and we're kind of chilling, but I kind of keep it in the corner of my eye because I'm like, okay, it's a great white shark, like it's the king of the ocean, like I gotta respect its boundaries, and it keeps going, swims underneath me at a healthy distance, but close enough where I'm
You
concerned.
acknowledge, yeah. It's
And then all of a sudden, we both lock eyes, and then
love at first sight.
love at first sight, and then the shark usually comes swimming after me aggressively, and right before it gets me, I usually wake up.
ooh.
And that's happened about like 4 or 5 times.
Same thing.
Same
And
thing.
okay, so I hate those dreams.
And
That
Where
sounds like a bonding thing, though.
And that's been very
Yeah.
recently.
I
Very,
think
very
that's
recently.
dealing with past demons. That's my first guess. But okay, so you are at a shore,
But far
and then-
out. Far out into
but
the
you're
ocean.
also at the same time far out.
The shore is in sight. It's to my right, and I turn left, and it's just far ocean.
And then all of a sudden you're out in the middle of the ocean.
Beautiful water, like dark blue, crystal, just amazing. But no other
Would
fish.
love to look into that more.
Have you ever tried to touch it?
The shark? Yes, actually, one time, and guess what? And this was my last one. I haven't had it since. I touched the shark, and it turned into a whale shark. And I was like, oh my gosh.
What was that?
I was like, oh my gosh, it's still in the shark family. Yes, a whale
But-
shark is in the shark family. But I'm like, this is an amazing, beautiful creature. I
That's him
was
facing his demons.
viewing it as a predator when actually it wasn't, because whale sharks aren't aggressive in any way, shape,
No.
or form. Like you can go up, pet it, they love it. And be respectful to it. They're all for it. But that's where I was thinking about that, and I was talking to.
Connor.
That's why I can say therapist.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
I brought it
Okay.
to my therapist.
This group is totally into that stuff. Like,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I brought it up to my therapist on my last session because I was like, hey, this keeps happening, and this was the last one. And I think it might be like I'm viewing something as a predator when it actually isn't, because maybe it's a, like just, I'm associating like past wrongs in my life and being like, well, they're going to judge me, they're going to do this,
Absolutely.
they're going to do that, and I'm creating a narrative. But it was just interesting. We were talking about that, and I was like, "This is what I think," and she was like, "Oh yeah, like we're gonna talk about that on the next session because she's like, that's interesting."
It means something.
Yeah, but it was really cool when it turned into a wheel shot because I thought of you. And you
That is
that's why I said
so symbolic.
That's why I said bonding process. Because like sharks, a shark.
Well, do you remember his whole childhood? He loved sharks. No,
like,
but
when you were in the ocean, you were.
I know.
Love sharks, but I fear them.
Yeah.
But
you always had shark stuff. That was like your
because sharks they'll circle you and they'll swim around you out of curiosity.
Yeah.
And then when you actually reach out to see, because it's a great shark. I'm sure that's not always the most welcoming face.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So if you just have the courage to
I don't know, if we get a shark, if I draw you a shark, that would be crazy.
If you have the courage
that would be crazy.
to reach out to it to see what it is,
I know.
then something that you saw was a curse or a demon might actually be something that you accept and that you can use in life.
The funny thing is, once I actually...
Literally what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Once I actually did that and it came to me, because usually I wake up right before, when the nose
right
is
before,
getting right to my stomach, I'm like, okay, this is a gut shot.
Wait, how many times have you had this dream, do you think?
5 times. And the 5th time was about when I actually reached out and we actually connected physically. And it turned into this whale shark. Beautiful. I could see the spots on it, and actually people, all of a sudden, everything got populated. So there's people all around me, there's fish everywhere, and everyone's like, oh, look at the whale shark, it's amazing, because I felt like I was alone, but once I actually made that connection, there's people around me. And it started as a nightmare, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the same dream. I've had this 4 other times. I don't like this dream because, I'm in a vulnerable spot.
Absolutely. You're about to be attacked.
I'm about to be attacked. I know this song and dance, but then I actually got to see the whale shark, and it turned my whole perspective of what I thought the reoccurring dream was, and I haven't had it since.
You worked through it.
Yeah, I haven't had it since.
That's you working through it. That is your subconscious taking all that data and working through it.
Yeah, cool reoccurring dream.
Look at you.
Yeah, last one was, I think, 7 or 8 days ago, and I haven't had it since.
Recent.
Yeah.
The whale shark was it?
Whale shark, yeah. It was cool. The dream didn't end right when he turned into a whale shark. I actually got to pet the whale shark. Everyone was talking and being how beautiful the whale shark is, and it was just.
And people were back around, everybody was around you again.
Yeah, I'll let you hold on to the fence and they'll cruise.
Right?
Yeah.
They're amazing creatures, beautiful, and something to be celebrated. And they're still in the shark family.
Yeah,
So still a shark, but something that is
still
docile, friendly, and I think some cultures has a good luck or a sign of beauty.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll be curious to see what that recurring dream turns into.
Yeah,
if you have it again, what it morphs into.
It'd be cool if it starts as a whale shark. That'd be pretty cool.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. You do not.
Yes, you do.
On any level, you do not.
Let the record show he has to finish this drink.
Let the record show he does
I
not.
want to say it's an old fashioned without any syrup, so it's just basically bourbon with a lemon.
It's.
And it's not. That's just inaccurate.
It is.
It's not true. You can split
But
it
isn't it though? No, it's kind of true. Connor's not driving here.
I will finish this.
You have a game tomorrow. Yeah, Connor. Yeah, here.
I've
got to watch.
Nah,
No, you do. Yeah, these guys have to play football.
One thing I've been wanting to ask is. So you said with dreams, it's kind of it could be you peering into a different. Do you describe it as a reality or what did you describe?
It's kind of like I mean, this is not my area of expertise by any means, but clearly, I think when you're awake, right?
Yeah.
When you're asleep, it's your subconscious. Your brain never shuts off.
Yeah.
So your body is your body, and it stays in a, sleep state, but your mind goes off, I think. So where you go is interesting. I think that can be interpreted in many different ways.
A dream I have more rare than, I would say it's more rare than common, is I will be having a dream. It's usually a scary one, like a nightmarish type of dream. And then, like Connor said, right when I'm about to get touched or killed or whatever, I wake up, but I sit up, I'm in my bed, the lights are off, but I'm still in a dream. And I've had that a few times.
You're dreaming that you're in a dream state? You're dreaming that you're asleep in a dream?
Yeah, so I'm dreaming, and then
tough.
I wake up in my bed, and then that I guess horror, something, I just feel off, and then like something's like still coming to get me, and then I'll wake up again, but that time for real. So I don't know if that.
Have you ever tried to yell out at yourself, like, wake up, this is a dream,
so
like, please wake up?
So yeah, I'm about to say,
That's hard. That's scary. That is a scary.
When I'm in, I guess, that second level where I think I'm awake, I'm in my bedroom, but I'm still asleep. Like then it feels like I'm pulling myself out of it. I'd say.
You are. You're trying to get yourself awake. You're trying to get your subconscious to. That's hard. Have you had that?
I've had it to where I have gotten up, climbed out of my bed, and then gotten back in, and I can see myself sleeping.
Whoa.
There's nothing else there, but I can watch myself sleeping. And then it can either be in first person or it can be in third person. And I'm aware that I can see myself sleeping. And it's almost that you climb back into yourself in order for your eyelids to be able to open. Because I cannot open my eyelids if I can see myself at the end of the bed or to the side of it. It's really weird. And it's freaky because I literally cannot open my eyelids no matter how hard I try.
Can I get some clarification
become one.
on what you're saying?
It's really weird.
So you're saying you're asleep, you're dreaming.
Yeah.
And then in your dream, you dream that you are outside of your body in your dream?
Yeah, like I get up and I'm getting up and starting my routine, but I can't open any doors. I can't open any drawers. I cannot move anything that's physical. And then every time I look around, every time I'm looking, trying to move something, I look around and I can see myself that I'm still in bed sleeping. It's the weirdest. It's pretty rare. It used to happen a lot, but it's pretty rare when it happens. And I cannot.
You're outside your body.
Yeah, and during that time, I'm trying to open up my eyelids, and no matter how hard I try, it cannot open. And it's until I come back to the bed.
Because you need to be back in your body to get that whole.
It's really weird.
What do you got, Connor?
That's what I was going to say. Out of body experience.
It really is.
I've heard of that before, where they can visually see yourself sleeping, and you can't wake up until. Like your spirit or your soul goes back into your body.
You can't move anything. You can't get outside of the room. You can't go through anything. It's like
you're separated.
Yeah, it's weird.
So I had that really only once, and it was just within the last couple of years, and it scared me to death.
It's a very weird feeling.
Yeah, but it was when I was awake, not when I was asleep.
So the other thing
that scared me
is it would only happen if I went down for like a heavy nap. It wouldn't happen if I was sleeping over through the night. Mm-hmm. If I went down for a nap for more than an hour and a half, that's when it would happen. Mm. So it wouldn't be like any REM sleep. It would be, I would guess somewhere right before that stage.
Yeah. Have you ever had that?
Really weird.
I feel like I have, but I couldn't remember.
It's not
yeah. Yeah, if it did, it was maybe once 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's scary.
It's a really weird feeling.
So does that make you anticipate the other side or anything different? Since you know your body and your conscious, it can be two different things.
Anytime I've recognized it when it's happened again, I just know to turn around and get back to myself
to your body
even faster. So the length of how long that period is shortened because I know the only way I can actually do anything is I have to go back
to your body.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something about that?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, because
this is a free for all. We're just open mic here.
One of the strangest things that's ever happened to me, and I don't know if it was just a really crazy dream that felt real, but the first ever time I've ever tried to take melatonin, because I'm really bad with stuff like that. Cool. Stuff that just makes my body do stuff that it doesn't want to, fall asleep, or if I were to smoke weed, uncomfortably relaxing stuff. So it was the first time I ever take melatonin, and I felt myself getting tired, but my mind was fighting against it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then so I was just laying still in my bed and I wasn't moving, and then all of a sudden, it felt like, I don't know if I was dreaming or not, but it felt like there was someone else in my body that was trying to take control of it, and that probably sounds really weird, but I remember it so vividly of that interaction.
Did you feel scared?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so something was off then.
Yeah. It felt like a bad person.
Something was bad. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
bad force.
And it was so weird because I felt fully awake. I felt like I was very conscious of my body. I couldn't move it. And then eventually, like, I had that moment where I pull my, like, I force myself to, like, get up and get out of bed. And I was like, was I dreaming? Or, like, what was that? And it was very weird. Yeah.
That can be unsettling.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not comfortable with what's happening. It's not like a comforting, family, motherly, everything's going to be okay type thing. If it was disturbing or uncomfortable or scary.
Yeah. So I threw away my melatonin after that.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
I don't like it either. Personal stuff, but. Okay, you guys want to do a card draw?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. All right, I hate putting a quick pause on things, but this is the perfect place to hold it because we are jumping right into some really fun card pulls and talking about what the cards mean. But we're going to save that for next week. Till then, I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing rest of this week, a wonderful weekend, and I will talk with you next week. Thank you for joining me today at Witchy Work Wishes, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. For more information and additional content, please visit me online at witchyworkwishes.com. If you want to send me a personal note, please email me at info@witchyworkwishes.com. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Just search for Witchy Work Wishes.